Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, December 13th, 2024. And we begin with a timely and somewhat spooky vocabulary quiz. What's the word for fear of the number 13? Triskaidekaphobia. How about fear of today, Friday the 13th? That's even more of a mouthful. Paraskevidekatriophobia. No one is entirely sure when or where worries about something bad happening on this day began, but it's clearly real enough that it's been given a name and been studied. What did the researchers find? When asked by NBC News, a University of Helsinki scientist was very matter-of-fact. No data exists and will exist exist to confirm that 13 is an unlucky number. And that's good news for SpaceX, which is scheduled to launch a Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral tonight. It's a football stunner. Legendary coach Bill Belichick is taking his 8 Super Bowl championship rings to his new job as head coach at the University of North Carolina. Belichick's deal is reportedly worth $50 million over 5 years and comes as UNC looks to revamp its football program. It's a homecoming of sorts and looks to be a family affair. Belichick's dad coached for a few years at UNC, and Belichick's own son, Steve, who coaches at the University of Washington, is expected to join him on his squad. Since leaving the Patriots, the 72-year-old had been dipping his toe into broadcasting and was rumored to seek a return to the NFL. With 333 NFL wins, he's just 15 away from breaking the all-time career record. President-elect Trump is Time's Person of the Year. For 97 years, the magazine has been handing out the title, which goes to the individual who, for better or for worse, did the most to shape the world and the headlines over the past 12 months. In announcing its decision, Time wrote, "In many years, that choice is a difficult one. In 2024, it was not." Mr. Trump celebrated by ringing the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. It's the second time he's been named Person of the Year. The first was in 2016. While many people have been given the title twice, only Franklin Delano Roosevelt has won it 3 times. An Arctic blast is sending a shiver down the spines of millions across the U.S. Below freezing temperatures are part of a powerful cold front stretching from Maine all the way down to Florida and across parts of the Midwest, where wind gusts and bone-chilling weather are expected. With the cold often come seasonal illnesses like COVID, and for some it doesn't quit. To find connection and healing, some kids have joined the Long COVID Kids Choir, a group where music seems to be the best medicine. The virtual group meets on Sundays to sing and share their struggles. Participation varies depending on the energy levels of the members, says San Francisco member Anouk Shillem.
A great thing about the choir is there's no pressure to join if you don't feel like it. And even if you do join, if you don't feel like doing something, that's okay. You can sit it out.
The choir just released a powerful new song, Roller Coaster, to give voice to the up and down ride many kids living with long COVID are forced to endure. And a teen chess prodigy just made history. 18-year-old Gukesh Domaraju of India now holds the crown as the youngest world chess champion ever after a nail-biting finale in Singapore. Yesterday's win came down to an apparent mistake by his 32-year-old opponent in the final match, giving Gukesh the win, a big slice of the $2.5 million prize, and the distinction of breaking Garry Kasparov's 39-year record as the youngest title holder. Up next, following through on a bet he made with his chess coach last week, bungee jumping off a bridge despite his fear of heights. Still to come, it wasn't a triple dog dare, but the embarrassing result was the same. But first, we want to wish an early happy 11th birthday to the amazing and brilliant Lila Skowronek of Durham, North Carolina. Lila, your family is inspired by your fierce kindness, your voracious love of reading, your passion for learning about World War II, your entrepreneurial spirit, your musical theater talents as an actor, singer, and dancer, and your dedication to your future career as a teacher. Happy early birthday, Lila. Now, the KidNuz quiz. What's the word for fear of Friday the 13th? Paraskevidekatriophobia. At which university will Bill Belichick coach? The University of North Carolina. How old is the world's newest and youngest world chess champion? 18. What song did the Long COVID Kids Choir release to raise awareness about their condition? Roller coaster. In our KidNuz Kicker, it doesn't just happen in A Christmas Story. A grown man in Australia couldn't help himself. He just had to stick his tongue out and lick an ice sculpture put up to advertise an energy drink at a mall in Sydney. If you remember what happened to Ralphie's friend Flick, you know what happened to this poor guy. With people walking all around him, he found himself stuck by his tongue to the display. A security guy tried to free him by pouring warm water over his tongue to melt the ice. It didn't work. News.com in Australia isn't sure how long the ordeal lasted, but it was long enough for the energy drink company to post, "We never thought we'd have to say this, but don't lick ice sculptures in public." Thanks again to the Skoronics of Durham, North Carolina for sponsoring today's quiz. Happy birthday a bit early to Lilla, hello to her sister Edith, and shout-outs to Lilla's teachers, Ms. Neff, Miss Cameron, and Miss Penny at Ephesus in Chapel Hill. We also want to recognize our other KidNuz classrooms, Ms. Pashka and her Eagles at Midway School in Cincinnati, Ohio, Mrs. Zanatakis and her Hawks at Frank H. Hammond School in Munster, Indiana, and Mr. Scott and his Dolphins at Samantha Smith School in Sammamish, Washington. And that's a pre-holiday wrap for our KidNuz team. We're taking the next 3 weeks off to spend with family and friends, and we hope you all get to do the same. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz on Monday, January 6, 2025.